we go, losing self-control.
Hey guys, this is Eliza from Dusk Reads and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be going over all the books I'm unhauling.
We become strangers on the run.
So these books I'm not necessarily getting rid of straight away. I think I'm going to wait for the next book fair, which usually happens at like the start of the year. So they'll probably just sit in the bottom of my shelf. But I wanted to just make a list of all the books that I am going to unhaul. I'll try and get through it quickly as there is a relatively good chunk of books here. But yeah, I'll just give you like a brief explanation of why I'm getting rid of this book. So first I'll just do the books that I've read, didn't like, I'm not going to continue the series, so I don't see the point in owning the book. And you would have seen some of these in my series I am DNFing video, but this is just a couple of the ones that I'm getting rid of. Some I am keeping, but these are the ones I'm going to get rid of. So first we have Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, didn't like it, don't care. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. The School for Good and Evil by Saman Chanani. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alias, and The Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. So the rest of these books I own but have not read. So first I'll just talk about some mass market paperbacks that I bought not realizing they were mass market paperbacks. So the first one is World War Z by Max Brooks, and this book, it's tiny, the writing is minuscule, and honestly I think I'm going to read this on audiobook because I've heard the audiobook is really good, but for this I'm not going to read this tiny ass book. Next we have Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. Again, I didn't realise this was a mass market paperback, and I bought this the same time as I bought The Two Towers. The Two Towers was a normal size, this one was not. Next I have a book that I've owned, well actually a fair few of these I've owned for ages, like before I actually got into reading when I was still living with mum, and I bought these when we were out and I'm like, oh, I'll read that, and then I discovered like the second or third book or something, or I just never got around to actually reading them, and now there is no chance I'm gonna read them. So the first one is Glass House by Rachel Kane. I don't even know where I got this book, and it doesn't even have a barcode. It says promotional copy not for resale, so I think it came in like a magazine or something, because that's where I got my first book in the Trial trilogy as well, but I read and loved that. But this one, yeah, I think it came in like a magazine or something. Next I have two books from the Supernatural series. I have Nevermore and Witch's Canyon, and at first when I saw these I was like, oh my god, the Supernatural series has books, and then I realized that they're not actually they're not the same story, and they're by different authors. This one's by Keith Ra-DiCandio, and this one is by Jeff Marriott, I don't know, and it just says an original Supernatural novel, but I'm never going to read these, and also they're tiny mass market paperbacks. But yeah, realistically I'm not going to read these, I'm just going to continue watching the TV show. Okay, next I have two books that I've had for literally ages for the reasons I talked about before, and the first one is Delirium by Lauren Oliver. I don't think I'm ever going to read this. And then the next one is Rapture by Lauren Kate. And I don't even know if this is the first book. I think Fallen is the first book. But I saw the cover, I'm like, that is a beautiful cover, and I was like 15 at the time, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy that, and then, yeah. Okay, the next book I got in a subscription box, and I'm not going to ever read it, and that is Valentine by Jodi McAllister, and this is some romance thing. I don't know. It's like a fairy tale romance type thing, and I'm just, nope. So yeah, just by the back of this book, it says, Pearl shares a birthday with Finn Backlund. She's known him all her life and disliked every second of it. Now Pearl and Finn must work together to protect themselves from the sinister forces that are seeking them out. But there's one problem, the explosive chemistry between them. I don't fucking care. Okay, next I have four books that I bought with the intention of actually reading them, and it's just not gonna happen. First I have Everything by Nicola Yoon. When I first bought this, everyone was raving about it, and then I actually went in and read some of the more in-depth reviews and heard some of the more negative things about it, and I'm like, I don't care. Next we have The Fault in Our Stars, John Green. I bought this because everyone talks about it, but I'm never gonna fucking read this. Then we've got The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This one again, oh, it's still got a book depository bookmark in it. Again, I bought it because of all the hype, and I'm like, I'm not actually going to read this. I haven't even been able to get to the movie yet because I just don't care that much. This one I bought for really cheap, and I honestly bought it because it is bright fucking yellow, and at the time I didn't have any yellow books to use in Instagram pictures, but it is, I don't know if you'll be able to tell from it's so hard to read, but it's Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, and I'm never going to read this. I don't read classics, but I just bought it because it was bright yellow, and I think it was like $3 or $4 or something at one of those discount pop-up stores. It's got like the black marker on it, like they do with like the discount, like the, what's it called? Like the rest of the stock that they just want to get rid of, and they sell it for really cheap. Kind of like what Book Outlet does. But yeah, that's that one. And the last book is one that I bought in a secondhand store because I loved the title. I still love the title, but I'm not gonna read it. And it's Another Bullshit Night in Suck City by Nick Flynn. Like, just this title, I was like, that is great. But I don't actually know what this is about. Okay, so it's about a guy that is reunited with his father who is a homeless man, and that's what this is, like another bullshit night in Suck City because he's homeless, he's living on the streets. Yeah, not gonna read it because I don't read contemporary, well, it's not really contemporary, but I don't read books set in real life that often. So yeah, I think that's all the books that I'm DNFing at the moment. I also have the Penguin Teen Australia Superproof, which I got in a subscription box. I don't need this. It's just like the first couple chapters of some books. Yeah, I'm not actually going to read this, and most of them are contemporaries. It's got Before You Forget by Julia Lawrenson. It's really hard to read that font. A Shadow's Birth by Nicola Hayes, Valentine by Jodie McAllister, The 11th Hour by Agent Nomad. No, Agent Nomad's the title. Sky Melican something or other is the author. Mr. Romanova's Garden in the Sky by Robert Newton. Geekerella by Ashley Posner, which at the time I owned, so I had no use of picking this up. Hunted by Amanda Houlihan maybe? Is she related to the chick of MASH? Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Maria Faldoy. Yeah, you get what I mean. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. Wreck by Fleur Ferris. Now I Rise by Kirsten White, which I hadn't read the first book, so I couldn't read the first chapter of the second. Juniper Lemon's Happiness Index by Julie Israel. Troublemakers by Catherine Barter. And The Build-Up Season by Megan Jacobson. But yeah, this is just Penguin teen books that were coming out in 2017 that you just get like a preview of the first chapter of. But yeah, I just never actually picked this up, and I have no use for it really. I do have another one of them somewhere. I've got the Data book one, but I don't know where it is. It's probably right down on the bottom shelf of that one, behind other things. So yeah. But yeah, that's all the books that I'm unhauling. Like I said, I'm just going to put these at the bottom of my empty shelf over there and wait for book fair. I don't think, some of them I could donate to my library, but I don't know if my library actually takes donations. Have any of these got sticky notes in them? I don't think they do because I didn't actually like them, so I didn't sticky note them, no. So yeah, I might go and ask Claudia if our library takes donations. I don't know if it does. And I'll give them probably Me Before You, Anna and the French Kiss, The School for Good and Evil, Aristotle and Dante, The Wizards of Once, Everything, The Girl on the Train, Valentine. And that's probably it because the rest of them aren't in great condition, whereas those ones are all in perfect condition. So yeah, that is all the books I'm unhauling. Really? That's not my dog either, that's the neighbour's dog. He only barks when there's something around though, so that's okay. So yeah, that's the end of this that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. For fuck's sake. And I'll see you next time. I'm not redoing that again because he keeps fucking barking.